Radio Free Canada.
Hey there, this is the Revolution Radio. It's CFTG, and we do need a revolution. So we're starting up this little radio station. It's protected under Section 2 of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms because it's our opinion, and you can't undo that. And it's using media described under international fair usage copyright law. That's a legal part. But the realistic part is it's adult radio. A revolution is required against the greed and hatred that's going on, and it's in full swing. But while we're describing it, we're going to be using adult language with adult situations. So if you've got, you're too young or you're easily offended, please turn the radio off. This is 3 minutes to save the world. We're going to do it in well under 3 minutes so we have time to cuddle afterwards, but, we're thoughtful like that. On the top of the news facing everybody right now, born after 1965, we have $1.2 trillion in fiat currency debt to pay off. That's our federal debt. It's about $55,000 for everybody. But the thing about it is the Bank of Canada made up our federal debt from nothing. It's called fiat currency. Central banks make up debt from nothing. We apparently owe $1.2 trillion of imaginary debt. That's standing in the way of cancer. It's standing in the way of my flying car. We've got more on this later, but we got to talk about fiat currency and CFTG news. Okay, we're going to do this. Yeah, we're well under 3 minutes now. Unelected bureaucrats right now have failed a risk assessment from CFTG. We got to ask a question. Where's our high-capacity, large pandemic treatment centers? You say there's going to be another pandemic. You spent $600 billion. The only thing that the health authority has done is pay themselves more and reduce services. It's actually a really important story, but we got the rock and roll attitude and point of view coming up. Stick with us, and then there's one more point. Right now, the grocery stores and the fuel companies are allowed to screw everybody. City Hall is protecting the big box stores who are screwing over every small business and every private citizen that there is. Just because they can afford their own prices doesn't mean we can. And we're going to talk about it. This is CFTG. This is the rock and roll news. And we've got the solutions for you. I told you it'd be under it. Do you know what we do? Do you know how we solve this problem? Well, let me tell you. There's a very, very small number of people running the banks, government, and corporations that are destroying the future. It's always been the same way. Ever since slavery, ever since women got the vote, ever since they were allowed to hug a tree, ever since that women don't get beaten for disobeying the church, we've been solving this problem, okay? Me and you, just normal people standing up against evil. I want you to think about that. People like us at CFTG have been around since slavery. We've been around since religious nut bar. We've been there at Occupy. We've been there at Idle No More. We're there with the peace movement. There are people that are like-minded like you in the Me Too, hashtag Me Too, Black Lives Matter. We're changing the world. We're doing it right now. So you have to have faith, and I want you to join me. My name's Darren Howard. I head up Radio Free Canada. We've been doing this for 25 years. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. For 25 years, we've been researching how to end poverty, end small crime, how to deal with corruption and greed. They've been ramming it down our throats as being normal. It's not normal. We've got the solution, and the next hour, we talk about it. But it's simple. I want you to think about those very small offices at City Hall, the very small offices at Loblaws and Walmart, those very small offices in the Bank of Canada. They're only run by a few people. They've got names and addresses, and they don't have to be evil. That was well under 3 minutes. Okay, we went a little bit over, but we want lots of time to cuddle afterwards. I'm Darren Howard. Thank you for joining me for the first 3 minutes of the show, the first 5 minutes of the show. I'm just giving you a rundown of how we're going to rock the world. This is rock radio like you've never heard it before, and next I'm going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the fiat currency debt they make up from nowhere. We're going to talk about the way that these banks finance those grocery stores that fuck us every day, and we're going to do something about it. So enough screwing around. Let's play some music. This is Rock Radio CFTG. Those things are more important than everything on the news.
All right, baby. Are we streaming for the next hour? Let's talk about the solutions to the problems and let's kick some ass.